あのひまりがここまでやられるとは。このスタンス、俺も見習おう。
高校に入ってすぐの体育の時だって。あれは出来心だったんだって。あんなご立派なもの。
Show was incredible! Incredible! Can a boy-girl friendship survive? That is the name, and that is the theme of the show that so perfectly matches. This might take the cake for my favorite new show of the season thus far. And well, okay, let me say this. Let me say this. Probably the most exciting one for me is the beginning after the end. But that's because that's the one show that I gave myself, us, me, you together, the channel, if you've been here, a chance for one that I'm really familiar with, that I've read the source material. That's the only one I've read. So I'm excited. So I'm going to remove that. From new anime that I haven't seen no familiarity with so far, this season, for sure, is Can a Boy-Girl Friendship Survive? I think that takes the cake. The other one is, what was the other one called? The Empire something. It's an isekai anime about the Empire Galactic, the evil lord of a intergalactic empire. I think that one is number one. And then right after so far, based on everything I've watched so far, Can a Boy-Girl Friendship Survive? I'm gonna talk about the anime in just a second, but I just kind of want to put it out there that this is top tier. So one of my favorite things in anime is very similar to My Dress Up Darling, is to where we have a main character or the theme is something that I'm not familiar with, but someone that has great passion or great craftsmanship or something like that within it, right? So My Dress Up Darling, the MC there focuses on creating dolls. Like they're a doll maker. If I think back to Kono Oto Tomare, or whatever that one is, that one's all about the main characters playing the Kono. If I think back to some other shows, you know, like Ascendance of like a Bookworm, I'll just kind of throw out that. It's about a librarian. So these have these like very niche things. So this one is about Yu, I think his name is Yu, and Yu is a flower maker, he creates jewelry. I guess that'd be the best way to describe it, right? He's a jewelry maker, and he has a real love for flowers. He in middle school is trying to sell some of his creations, accessories, jewelry, earrings, bracelets. I want to call them collars. Yeah, I guess she's kind of wearing like a collar. Like a collar, jewelry type accessory and stuff. And he's selling abundance of accessories. He's not good because he's not good with people, like most creative types just aren't. They typically end up being very introverted. He's not good at being a salesperson. So he meets this girl named Hamari, and this Hamari girl is the opposite. Super bubbly, super out there, super energetic, super people oriented. And she makes a deal with him to help him sell his jewelry. He ends up selling all of his jewelry, but through that, very similar to like My Dress Up Darling, she discovers something unique within him, is that when bro locks in, he is beautiful. And she decides to take the path, like she has said a couple of times in this first episode, she has stated to you and myself and the main character, she doesn't have any experience with romance. She dated a couple of guys, but she did it out of boredom, but she still doesn't quite understand romance. She's never gotten to that level. Probably like just like the dating phase, probably handhold these, but no kissing. Maybe she kissed, but nothing beyond that, right? So she says she has no experience with romance, so she doesn't quite understand that she's in love with this you character. And she even explains it later of like, oh, well, if he ever finds a girlfriend, like I'll just, I'll still be here, like we'll be together forever. Like she's not quite grasping the way she's describing as a forever relationship of course, you could be friends, right? I'm still friends with the opposite sex. We don't talk that often, but we're still friends, right? You could be friends forever, but what she's describing is a partnership and very different. So very cliche at some point within the show, she tells him like, oh, if for some reason you're not married by 30 and I'm not married, we'll get married. Like we'll just, we'll just tie the knot together. Very weird thing to say, especially when you're like 14, but hey, regardless, ain't gonna judge it. And her thing is like, oh, if he ever stops making jewelry, at that point, I'll put a ring on my boy. So that's how this kinds of things begins. Then later on in the episode, he finally meets a girl. Now, the way the synopsis was, so I'm not really sure how this is going to shake out, but the synopsis describes Yu reunites with his first crush. The gears of their relationship suddenly go out of sync. Will Himari be able to escape her ideal friend now that he has found love? So, Yu reunites with the first crush. Now, in this episode, he meets this girl, and unless he just doesn't remember her, but he meets this girl at a vending machine, very pretty girl. You know, they're both very beautifully drawn, and he sees that she's wearing one of his bracelets, and it breaks. So he's like, "Oh, I fixed that for you." Whatever. He runs away from her. Blah blah blah. Move forward. He reunites with this girl, and she's like, "Please fix it for me." But it doesn't seem like they have any prior history. But she does have history to Himari. Himari describes it as, "Oh, my older brother's friend, that's her younger sister." So her older brother had a friend who's a girl and a model, who also wears used jewelry and stuff at times because of his connection to Himari. And her little sister is this girl. So I don't know if maybe he's met her before, or maybe I don't know what the story is. It seems like he is her crush, not the other way around. But again, the synopsis could be wrong. We've had that in the past where synopsises were just simply wrong. So at the end of the episode, you know, she's talking about how I think her family has like a patissiere, like maybe like a bakery, something like that. And she was saying to Himari, like, "Oh, my mom's always telling me about like when somebody has this glint in their eye, like this craftsmanship, like it's just you lock onto that thing." And she basically tries to get it out of Himari, like, this is that guy, you know. So you can tell that she has strong interest in him, and that's going to kind of spur the show. On top of that, this Himari girl is hilarious. There's a whole moment of her fondling this brown hair girl, like fondling. This brown hair girl has like a vicious demon side. She's like lifting her up like by the face. The pranks that they play on this Yu character are hilarious. She put a bunch of bows in his hair as he was working. The relationship that Yu and Himari have is hilarious. The fact that he was talking to me, she's like, "You never had a girlfriend?" He's like, "Because you're always hanging around. Like, you're hanging off of me, literally." He's like, "You're like a girl repellent." He's like, "What do you want me to do about it?" And then on top of that, he's like, "And I'm also like an introvert. Like, I don't do well with girls. So first off, I'm shy. And second off, you won't leave me alone. So like, how do you expect me to go get a girlfriend?" And apparently, you know, he's still like, "You had a boyfriend." And at some point she told him to like, you know, "Not your business," kind of thing. And you could tell he felt some type of way about that. So anyways, I think we're in for a really, really fun ride. Himari's older brother wants her to marry Yu, likes him a lot. It is funny. It is a cool story. And it's about a flower jeweler, you know, like a craftsman in the jewelry game. And I think that is insanely interesting to me. So overall, this is like a 9 out of 10 episode. I'm very, very excited for what comes next. I am very excited for a new anime of this caliber. And yeah, I think this is just a really, really good show. So I am all in. I'm going head first. I think this is going to be one of the best of the season. I'm calling it now. Even if they don't necessarily get together, I still think that just what they showed me in episode 1 is enough. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I appreciate you being here. I'm hyped. Let me know if you are, or let me know if it didn't hit your fancy or your taste, or you didn't really like it, or you need to see more. Let me know that in the comments. Those are valid feelings. Just tell me why. I would love to know. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week. Have a great one. Peace out.